Looking for amazing finds and incredible deals? Visit Erie City Mission Thrift today. From stylish clothes and shoes to quality furniture and home goods, you'll discover something new each time while changing lives right here in Erie. It's shopping that feels good and does good. Come see us in Erie and Girard. Erie City Mission Thrift. Thrift with a purpose.
All year round, Frontier Home Products and Design has what you need to make your home comfortable and beautiful. Relax on a new timber tech deck designed by Frontier's experts. A new fireplace from Frontier Home Products Fireplace Gallery adds warmth and serenity to any home. Beauty and versatility at Frontier Home Products and Design Center, 4213 Peachtree, East 5th, next to the Bayfront Highway.
Frontier Home Products and Design Center. Discover a new frontier.
PA contractor number PA 039007.
Welcome to TalkErie.com's Joel Natale Show, Erie, Pennsylvania's daily podcast. Every day, we tackle the biggest issues that the Erie, PA region faces. Stay informed and involved as we advance the narrative of Erie. Now, here's Joel Natale.
We are having the crucial conversations that Erie needs, and I want to welcome back to our microphones here Coroner Lyell Cook. He is the Erie County Coroner, and of course, he is the one that is keeping track of how people live and die. I guess mostly die.
Yes.
I mean, here in Erie County. Welcome back. Happy New Year, sir.
Joel, it's a pleasure to be back again.
We have to start with the breaking news, but we are going to get into, let's not bury the lead. You have very good news on the level of drug deaths here in Erie, Pennsylvania, don't you?
Yes, sir.
That's amazing. We'll get into that in just a second here. But I have to ask you about, you heard it in the top of the hour news here, that your investigation found in the Marchello Woodard case that, again, the cause of death was a gunshot wound to the chest.
Yes.
But there were other prevailing conditions with Mr. Woodard. Talk about that.
That's correct. The autopsy found that he had significant coronary artery disease, which unfortunately most of us do.
Right.
And there was cocaine toxicity. He had an extremely high level of cocaine in his system.
Okay, so there have bhave media reports that they're attributing to you as you saying that he had a lethal level, that he was would have been a menace to society or whatever. Though you never said any of that.
I have never
Lyell.
said that in my 50-year career. It's not up to me. I wasn't even at the scene. Mm-hmm. I have no way of saying that. All I can say is what was in the system at the time that the fluids were drawn and sent away to a lab in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And but as far as how that affected anybody physically or psychologically, we have never been able to say that, nor would we.
That's just not something that you say.
No.
Can you go through us, educate us on toxology? Because fluids were drawn, within hours of the deceased?
Yeah, we always do that at the beginning of the autopsy.
And how long does that take, and what are they screening for?
We generally draw 3 different fluids, which is cardiac blood from the chest, urine, and eye fluid. Eye fluid's a very good platform for toxicology because in cases where where the EMTs are involved, the first thing they start is fluid challenges, IVs, and things, and it changes the makeup of the blood, the chemistry. Because
they're pumping in saline or whatever right away.
Now, but it doesn't affect the vitreous humor in the eye.
Okay.
Or, in the case of somebody under 25 years old, the synovial fluid under the knee.
Interesting.
But it's very difficult to get that, so we don't bother. Those 3 fluids are gathered. It's sent to the top lab in the country, National Medical, which is the same lab that the FBI uses.
And that's in Philadelphia.
That's outside of Philadelphia. And we test for 1,100 drugs and chemicals.
Wow.
or they do. I should say.
Yeah.
And when we get everything, it comes back in nanograms, which is 1/1,000,000th of a gram. So that's how finite our findings are.
How long does that take?
It depends. It generally takes 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
For that to come back. Every drug in the United States, from aspirin to heroin, has a therapeutic level, a toxic level, which means that there would be untoward symptoms, and a lethal level, which will cause death. So we compare every drug by its number to those three possibilities.
And so 3 weeks, let's say, later, you received the toxology report, and then you were able to analyze what levels the drugs that were in Mr. Woodard's system were at?
That's correct.
And what level was cocaine at in his system?
I don't remember what the actual numbers, but it was extremely. It was over 100 times.
So is that considered lethal?
Yes.
All right. And so, but in your report, did you say that this was a lethal level?
I don't.
I don't see the word lethal in here. Do you? Do you?
If you look at the bottom,
okay,
where we have where I have the drugs.
Yes.
I don't know. Let's say 7,700, and then I'll say lethal.
Okay.
And then it'll have the range.
Okay. Yes, I see that.
And I think
lethal is between
40
to 31,000.
That's correct.
Wow. And this was at 7,400.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
Right. And fentanyl, for instance, which is our big killer, the lethal dose is 3 nanograms per milliliter, which is 1/6 of a grain of table salt dissolved in a tablespoon of water.
Wow.
So that gives you an idea of just how accurate these numbers are.
So they found ethanol, cocaine,
benzoylecgonine.
Yeah.
That's first pass metabolite of cocaine.
Okay. And then the cocaethylene.
Right.
Again, I can't pronounce any of these. Hydrocodone. And but the specifically, you had lethal levels of the cocaine and the benzoylecgonine. Yeah,
right.
Wow. All right, so that was part of the report here. It was sent to the funeral home, right?
Yes.
And
the funeral home then files it with the state, and the state makes the copies for the family. The certified copies they would need for anything legal.
And so, can you help us understand why this became a news story now 5 months later?
I wish I could.
Okay.
Because
this was available within 3 weeks of the deceased, right? Okay.
Yeah, I've often said that there's nothing more dangerous than a slow news day.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
But
again, we have to make sure that people understand the cause of death was gunshot wound to the chest.
That's right. And
I mean, you call it a homicide.
Yes. The drugs would not change that.
Yeah.
But the cause of death was due to the gunshot wound to the chest. A homicide, by definition, is the death of a person at the hands of another, period.
Yes.
So whether it's law enforcement or somebody else or a homicide, matter of fact, if anywhere that they would do legal executions in the prisons, the coroner is required to attend those because that's a homicide.
Sure is.
It was not an accident. It wasn't natural. It wasn't a suicide, and it wasn't undetermined. So we only have the 5 choices.
When you do an investigation, I noticed that your chief deputy, Reckett, was the investigator. Is that a law enforcement function of yours at that point, or not really? It's an official function of the state, right?
Yes. Yeah. We're required to do that. They keep us separate to prevent rulings from being affected for any other reason. So consequently, we can't have the police doing this and then trying to determine the events that led up to the death. Mm-hmm. So we're completely separate from everybody.
Okay.
And that way it tends to be more pure.
Because I mean, I'm Reckitt is talking to. Sounds like he's talking to witnesses here because he talks about he was stopped at a traffic stop when he reportedly, or is he talking to?
Well,
how does that come out?
It depends. In a case like this one, we're not present at the scene. We would get that from the police.
Okay, gotcha.
Because they've already started.
I'm just trying to understand the workflow.
Yeah. And we don't want a lot of details. We just want what happened here. It's
right.
Just like motor vehicle accidents, things like that. That they were traveling at a high rate of speed down State Street.
And that would come from the traffic investigator.
Right, yeah. However it is, because chances are we're not going to be present when this kind of thing happens. And most people are taken to the hospital, so we don't even get a chance to see them at the scene. So we have to kind of put everything together after the case.
In a hypothetical, are you guys often called to testify in court?
Actually, our pathologist is.
Okay.
Dr. Lukasevic, more so than we are. Generally, they will stipulate to my report because there's nothing there to argue about.
Right.
Really.
Right.
And we keep everything very very vague because
Sure.
we don't have that kind of information.
But your pathologist examined the body, right? Or no?
Yes, he performed the autopsy.
Okay, and so that would be...
Yeah, I order the autopsies, he performs them, and then gives me the findings.
Gotcha.
And then I make my ruling. So he doesn't rule on anything except cause of death.
I'm sure a lot of people don't again.
Oh, they don't.
I don't understand this.
No.
I mean, I've never heard this.
No.
I mean, we watch CSI, but we're not getting this kind of granularity on how the Pennsylvania system works.
Right. And it's not a whole lot different in any state, a little bit. But but the bottom line is the coroner in Pennsylvania, because we're a Commonwealth, is the top law enforcement officer in county government. We have a subpoena powers up to and including an appellate court judge. And that is to prevent anybody from interfering with our findings and hence our ruling.
Wow.
So, I mean, it'd be very easy to say, hey.
Yeah.
And money's involved, especially with accidents and things like that.
Sure.
So everything we're completely devoid of, we have to work with everybody, but we don't have anything to do with the others.
So your pathologist is busy during court season.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to homicides.
Because plus we do the coroner's autopsies for 14 other counties, all in northwestern Pennsylvania. So he has to travel to Mercer County and Crawford and all the other Warren County as necessary.
Yeah.
But
so if people want the final word regarding your connection to the Woodard case, they just have to look at the investigation report.
Right.
This is everything that you have to say.
That's all that comes out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I appreciate you willing to explain that to us here.
Certainly.
Because again, we just don't understand it, and it is helpful that that Mr. Reckitt and you identified what was in the bodily fluids and the lethal levels, because that really explains that.
Yeah, and we do that on every case.
Yes,
we do the full toxicology along with a total autopsy, which is cranial, thoracic, and abdominal.
Wow.
So it's even after 50 years, I'm still fascinated by it.
Coroner Lyell Cook is with us here on Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show as we talk about 2025 and the situation with deaths in 2025. And I know that the Erie City Police are touting a reduction of homicide in the city here, but you have the whole county view here. So let's start at the top. What are we talking about with homicide here in Erie, Pennsylvania? All
right. Well, so far, right now the number was at 8, which it was down from 11 the previous year.
It was 11 in 2024, huh?
That's correct.
Wow.
Yeah. So we dropped 3.
Okay.
Which is significant. I mean, that's 3 lives.
100%, yeah.
So
now, do you make the determination? Like, I mean, if I had Chief Spizzarni or now Chief Laura on, he would say this was domestic, this was this was that. You don't go there, do you?
No.
You're going with the nature of the homicide, right?
The only thing the coroner does is the cause and manner of death, and the manner of death is a legal pigeonhole. There are 5 manners that I have to choose from, and there are no gray areas. Every death is either natural, accident, homicide, suicide, or undetermined, and that's as far as that goes.
So you don't even qualify whether it was via gunshot wound, or do you, or stabbing, or blunt force trauma?
Well, that's how I determine the manner of death.
Okay, that's a separate thing.
If somebody else inflicted the stab wound or the gunshot wound, now it's a homicide.
It's a homicide, yes.
If the person, there's reason to believe that they did to themselves, it's a suicide.
Okay.
Or if there's...
Is there such a thing as undetermined?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we have undetermined. And undetermined is only used in cases where we cannot, despite our knowledge and our science, we're not able to determine the cause and manner within a medical or scientific certainty.
Okay.
So that's, and a lot of times, especially in infants, there's just, despite everything, we can't, locate a cogent cause of death.
So, yeah, you can't rule out SIDS, but it may not be SIDS or something like that, right?
Yeah, and there's certain rules about all of that. Yeah. And so
we were down 3 on homicides. Wow.
Yeah. In 2024, Erie County had 682 natural deaths. Last year, or the year before, 463. So our numbers are way down.
Say that again for natural deaths.
Yeah. In 2024, we had 682.
Okay.
2025, we had 463.
Oh, that's really interesting.
And those are natural deaths. It came through my office.
Right. And again, when we were talking during the COVID time, you didn't go there.
No.
You basically said natural death is a natural death, right?
Exactly.
You weren't able to determine that kind of thing. Even though, were you being asked to do that? COVID related?
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah.
Okay. But that was more from the funeral directors, or no?
No, it was from like the medical community.
Okay,
and that
gotcha.
Kind of
yeah.
So
you didn't go there.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not in a position to change based on any other reason than what the law requires.
Right. Again, these laws are well established by the legislature.
Yes,
and
have been for many years.
Yeah. Okay.
And accidental deaths,
yes,
which is technically a death that could have been prevented. 2024, we had 222 accidental deaths. Last year, we had 169. So that number is considerably down.
That's really surprising, Coroner, because we had those awful drowning deaths last year.
Oh, yes.
I mean, again, it's like people getting bit by sharks. We think that there's like an overwhelming amount, but maybe it just gets more attention or something like that.
Exactly. You never know. A lot of this stuff you never hear from. But accidental deaths can be anything from a motor vehicle incident. Quite a few of these are due to falls for older people, because if you fall and break your hip, you don't die from that. You die from the complications of a fractured hip, which is either a fat pulmonary embolism,
yes,
or pneumonia. And that's
so
usually
you trace it back.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
I had no idea.
Yeah, there's no time limit on trauma. So I actually signed a death certificate recently for injuries that were incurred 30 years ago, and the person has been institutionalized ever since. Because of it, it's still an accidental death, and we've had homicides that are 25 and 30 years old.
Isn't that something?
So,
wow.
At what point do you say, that it doesn't matter now. Well, you don't. So consequently, we have to go back as far as we're able to and get the information.
Are you doing that research or your staff?
Well, we all do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
we don't.
You would look at what, medical records from their primary care or
we
whatever.
We try to get medical records. We even go to libraries for newspaper ads. We try to talk to the families, and they'll say, "Well, gee, there was an accident. It was kind of on its way to Erie." Most people don't remember. Some do, and so we do the best we can with it. But the bottom line is that we're saying that the death would not have occurred had it not been for this event, and that's kind of it's a negative feedback type thing.
Oh my word, that's remarkable here. Again, you mentioned homicide. Why don't you say it one more time?
Oh, the homicides, we went from 11 in 2024 to 8.
And that's all across Erie County.
That's all of Erie County.
Yeah.
And of those 8, only one of them was from out of county. They were brought into Erie, because when it comes to coroner's deaths, coroner's jurisdiction is based on the county of death without regard for where the injury occurred. And with the helicopters and the trauma center, we've got people coming in from Ohio, New York, West Virginia. If they die here, it's an Erie County case. It's an Erie
County homicide.
And now we've got whether it's accidental or whatever it is. So we spend a lot of time doing that kind of thing.
That is incredible here.
Get paid to drive. Start a new career behind the wheel at the EMTA. If you are looking for a high-paying and rewarding career with full benefits and paid training, stop by or apply online today with the EMTA. Plus, EMTA riders can now enjoy free Wi-Fi on new, clean, and environmentally friendly buses to travel all over Erie County. Visit ridethee.com for more information.
Get on board EMTA. Get on board EMTA.
Quickfill gasoline is made right here in America. United Refining Company, who operates Quickfill, refines its gasoline from North American crude oil in Warren, Pennsylvania. When you buy United Refining Company gasoline at Quickfill, you keep jobs and businesses in America, and you keep American families strong. You don't need to send your money overseas when you buy gasoline. Buy American-made gasoline at Quickfill. Quickfill, driving America.
Coroner Cook, all we're seeing here is reductions in deaths, including even natural deaths. Like literally, less people died in Erie. Do you think that there's any connection to population loss? I mean,
I think all of those things probably play somewhat of a role.
Okay,
but we have no way of determining that.
Right.
And for instance, my deputies and I have the 4th largest coroner's office in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
And I run it with 2 deputies myself, 3 of us.
That's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. And the 3 of us went out on 700 death scenes last year.
Wow.
As opposed to 682 the year before that.
Okay, so actually that increased by 18. We were going through the statistics here. Suicides. I always want. Yeah.
The suicides. I'm very happy to say. Well, I shouldn't be happy about it all. But in 2024 was 34. The suicides went up to 45. So that did show probably the biggest gain.
So it was up to 45.
Yes, sir.
Oh my. Okay. Yeah.
And again, there are as many reasons for suicide as there are people.
Right. You have told us that.
The majority of the suicides are due to failed interpersonal relationships. We have very few that are done by drugs.
Very few.
Very few. Yeah. The number one mode of suicide is, of course, gunshot.
Okay.
Followed by hanging. And most people hang themselves sitting on the floor.
I never knew that.
We rarely do what we call the tombstone.
Right.
We're swinging in the wind. It only takes about 15 to 20 pounds of pressure on the neck vessels to occlude the blood supply to the brain. So people can actually sit on the floor and do that.
There was a little TikTok trend, a thrill trend that was killing kids. Mm-hmm. How are you able to make a determination between what was a suicide or just somebody making a mistake, an accident, if you will?
Fortunately, we haven't run into that.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, that was the, what did they call that, the pass-out game or something. And that didn't last very long.
Okay.
So fortunately, we've never run into it. But, again, we would have to fall back on examining the body to see whether there's evidence of what we call manual strangulation, wherein you use both thumbs.
Yes.
Or ligature strangulation, which is using a rope, a garrote, or something of that nature. So we really don't get a lot of that.
Yeah.
But the suicides did unfortunately go up.
Yes.
Undetermineds went from 10 to 11. So
okay.
That's
it's about flat there.
Yeah. Our telephone release, many of our deaths that occur in emergency rooms especially, and also hospice deaths. And there's a number of hospice units here in Erie. I set up a system where we could do it by phone.
Okay.
There was no reason for us to get up at 4 a.m. and drive to Northeast or wherever it was for somebody who was expected to die.
Okay.
And especially with hospice, they are under medical supervision.
Sure.
Although they may not necessarily be right there at the time of the death. They have nurses there generally every day.
Right.
Healthcare people. So there was no reason for us to go out on those. And likewise with emergency room deaths, anybody that dies within 24 hours of admission to any institution is a coroner's case and has to be reported to us. And then I decide at that time whether we need to look into it or not. Last year, in 2024, we had 760 telephone deaths. Last year we had 812, so that number went up
that went
again.
Up too. So that again, that's encompassing all the other debt. I mean, so you're basically responsible for identifying or counting at least every single time someone dies in Erie County.
Generally, a lot. If someone dies of natural causes over 24 hours after being admitted to Hammond or St. Vincent or Mill Creek, they don't even have to report those to us.
They don't?
No.
Okay. All right. So if someone dies under hospice care at home, you're not getting involved?
No, they call us.
They do call you,
I put that in my database.
You do? Okay.
Yes. And I think that's important.
Yes.
Because a lot of times the funeral homes then will call and say, well, who's the doctor? Who is the PCP?
Yes.
Or something. Because as soon as the death occurs, generally the hospice staff,
they're gone.
They've got other cases to work on. So yeah, we.
That's. I mean, when you count all that up, that's well over 1,000. What? How much is it? Did you count it?
No, I didn't.
I mean, you're talking almost 2,000 cases.
Yes, and. We had our scattering ceremony at Pleasant Ridge in September, every other year on 9/11. This year, I scattered 73 urns. That number.
Explain that to our folks because they need to hear this story here.
Well, essentially, the law requires the coroner to become involved anytime there's a death, and no one comes forward to claim the body for disposition. And what we're seeing now, and I always said that death is a reflection of our lives, and people just don't care like they used to. I hate to say that, but I've seen it. That's one of the reasons why I'm not in the funeral business anymore.
Wow.
Because it went the other way. But the coroner's required once 72 hours has occurred and nobody comes forward.
And where are these bodies usually at?
Generally at the hospital.
At the hospital.
Occasionally
in the morgue,
nursing homes.
Okay.
Or sometimes a house call, in which case the body will be brought to my office.
And is there a known next of kin, or sometimes there's not?
Well, sometimes I would say 80% of my unclaimed bodies have family, and they just walk away from it, and and they make it very clear, and so. We gather what information we can on it. We get the medical records. We put a notice in the paper, Erie paper, that the coroner's office is looking for information on John Smith, but whatever it is. After about 2 days, it goes out on the internet. If nobody comes forward, we check to see if they are veterans, because a veteran is guaranteed a grave and a marker. So if they're an honorably discharged veteran, the body's cremated and sent to the National Cemetery of the Alleghenies in Bridgeville, Pennsylvania.
Oh, interesting. Because
they have it's like Pennsylvania's Arlington.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they pile up in my office. And every other year on 9/11, because that's what we were doing the day of the attack, we were scattering ashes out there.
Were you really? So they just
completely unknowing.
Happened to be a random day that you scanned, or that the scheduled day, I should say.
Right. Yeah, we had no idea. It was just a bunch of people out there, and so as time went on, I'm now the president of the cemetery out there.
Which one is it now?
It's called Almshouse Cemetery.
Okay.
We decided that we were going to do that every other year. On 9/11, regardless of what day of the week it was, at 11 o'clock in the morning. And it's open to the public. The VFW and Legion come and do a firing squad and taps.
Wow.
And we have 3 clergy that do short services. And then the ashes are scattered by volunteers. And we have a gigantic wall out there where we put the names of all the people in Erie County since 1888. And so if you ever get a chance to go out and see it, it's really impressive.
Wow.
And that's from the old almshouse that was on Pittsburgh Avenue.
Yes.
Where Lord's building was. So I'm very, very proud of what Erie County does.
Have you ever encountered someone that you don't know the identity of that person as they pass?
Well, we've had a couple. Fortunately, I've been lucky enough to do everyone. Marchello Woodard was coroner for 40 years. He had one body.
Did he?
In 40
years, which he could not get an identification.
And we thought it was someone that came over from Canada, and then they thought it was someone that may have hung themselves as a crew member on one of the ore boats.
Oh, wow.
And it had a ring, and, which we still have in our safe. And he went with the RCMP and Ontario Police, and they worked for two years trying to determine who this male was.
Wow.
And they didn't. So that was the only one so far that haven't.
And we're talking almost over the course of
thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands. It's amazing.
Let's get to the drug because I don't want to run out of time here. And again, you were the one who brought even the word fentanyl to us years ago,
right?
In early conversations here on the show. Didn't know what that was. Or what is it? Car
fentanyl.
Yeah,
was,
and now there's some new things out there.
Oh yeah,
and we could talk about that in a second. But let's get to the numbers first. Yeah.
Well, in 2024, we had 73 drug deaths in Erie County. 71% involved fentanyl. 30% involved cocaine, and 29% was methamphetamine. And those are the three.
They're the ones. I honestly didn't know you can die from meth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can.
Wow.
But usually the methamphetamine is a carrier for the fentanyl.
Okay.
So they'll mix the two. But no, you can certainly.
And what are these considered? Are they considered accidental or?
Yeah, we rule all of our drug deaths accidental.
Okay.
Unless we have, and it's very, very rare, but unless we have a drug death where we have witnesses, we have a suicide note, and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So I'm really not too excited about ruling. If I'm going to make a mistake, I would rather mistake it as an accident than I would a suicide.
Yes.
So consequently, that's essentially what we do.
So 73, what was it the year prior?
Well, 73 was in 2024.
Oh, that was in 2024, okay.
Last year was 45.
Oh, wow.
So there's my good news for the day.
Yes, it sure is. Wow. And how did those break out?
45, 33 occurred in the city,
mm-hmm.
11 in the county, and 1 out of county. Somebody that was brought into Erie before they died. Right now, the age range was 19 to 66 years old. The majority of our drug deaths, believe it or not, are 40 to 50 years old.
That's really unusual, isn't it?
Everyone seems to think, I hear it from time to time. You're sitting there, someone's reading the paper, and they'll see somebody there that's 18, 19, 20 years old in the obituaries. Well, it's a drug death.
Right.
Well, I got news for you. No, generally it isn't.
But, I mean, you see these obituaries where they lost their battle with addiction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which, it breaks your heart, right?
Oh, it does. It does.
But you're saying that people in their 40s lose their battle with addiction.
Yeah, it's 40s to 60s.
Wow.
And middle-aged people who should know better, but I think they get to a point in their life where it just doesn't matter anymore.
Wow.
And
do you have a breakout on what what drugs generally for this year yet, or no?
No, not yet.
Okay, you're waiting on those numbers.
I'm still waiting on some more.
Is your hunch that fentanyl is still the leading cause?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
And it's approximately 68 to 70% are male, 30% are female when it comes to the drug deaths. Caucasian is 80%, and that's been pretty steady all the way through.
Yeah.
And about 27% black, and then the rest was Hispanic.
Okay. Talk about some of these new drugs. Again, every once in a while I'll read an article in the national news about this, this drug where it actually lowers their heart rate, mm-hmm. and that is the high, and then it speeds up their. I can't even remember what the. Yeah. Are you acquainted with that?
I read little bits and pieces about it, but I don't.
You're not encountering so much that stuff?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
Erie's kind of behind the 8 ball.
Don't you?
In so many different ways.
Right, yeah.
So chances are, it'll already gone through the United States before we even hear about it.
Wow.
And I appreciate that. But
yes,
we hear all kinds of them, and I've said a number of times when I speak to groups. All I know is that next year something's going to come up, and it's going to. I don't know who the guy was that decided to lick the frogs.
Right.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. No, my word.
Really?
Yeah.
It's probably the same guy that looked at a lobster and thought, boy, that's delicious.
Right, right. Yeah, lobsters used to be garbage, and now it's a delicacy.
Absolutely. It makes me wonder, but it seems like the numbers have just dropped a lot.
Sure have.
Considerably. And
again, now it's our duty as the investigators, the press, of saying, okay, let's talk to folks in social services. Let's talk to the drug and alcohol counselors and see what are we having better outcomes?
Yeah,
I mean, it could be all a good news story.
It very well could be.
And
Narcan, of course, everyone made a fuss about Narcan. Narcan's no good for fentanyl. Has no effect on it whatsoever.
And I noticed that you didn't mention any kind of opioid, like an actual heroin.
Yeah, we're not seeing. We haven't seen heroin in it's probably close to 5 years now. Cocaine is really the only opiate that we run into, and that's the only kind of drug that Narcan is effective for.
It
naturally
can
occurring opiates,
right?
And but I don't think I don't know where any of that stands. To be honest with you,
right. Well, we've done some really good work with law enforcement.
Yeah.
We pulled a lot of drug dealers off the streets through the Eagle Task Force, and again, we can check in with law enforcement about those kinds of things. But it is heartening to see that addiction is claiming less lives, at least right now.
Yeah, it would appear, and I like to think that it's going to continue that trend.
And we've seen trends with motorcycle deaths. You saw a drop in that too, correct?
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
We'd had 13 in 2024, and I think we only had 5.
Wow.
But I haven't been able to do the numbers yet.
Right. Yeah. And that would include even like deer hits and things, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Because that's an accident.
Doesn't matter. It's either motor vehicle or motorcycle.
Right.
And of course, we're running into problems with these people riding the electric bicycles and just casting fate to the wind. And
seriously.
Oh yeah, I see it in the morning, and I want to roll down my window and hold one of my business cards out for them.
Oh my gosh! No, it's true. I mean, either they're going to get hurt or a pedestrian's going to get hurt, and that usually includes me. I've been standing out here in front of the studio, nearly getting clipped on somebody that's going 35 on the sidewalk.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So we're seeing a lot of that.
Yeah.
And other than that, the only other thing that's up is the cremations.
Okay.
I have to approve every cremation before it's done for anyone that dies in Erie County. We went from 2,363 to 2,435.
Yeah, less and less people just choosing the full burial, huh?
Yeah, and I think that's going to change a little bit because the cost of cremation has gone up because the funeral homes have to keep their doors open.
Right, right.
We know that.
Yeah, there's cost of all that, and again, we're not going to get into the values of full burial, but some of us believe in it. That it's healthier for the living family to experience that, but. Lyell, I appreciate so much your candor and the information and the education we get every time we talk to you. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. It's good to talk to you. I'm amazed how fascinated people are with what I do.
Yeah.
It makes me pretty popular when I go into a store or something, and I can hear people whispering.
That's the corner.
There he is. There he is.
Is there a crop of young folks getting involved in, funeral, whatever you call your business,
Well, as far as the coroner, probably not really.
No.
The difference is that to be coroner, it's more of a political thing than it is. Of course, I like.
What do you run every 10 years or something?
Every 4.
Every 4.
Every 4 years. So
okay.
I've got another term coming up. I think I can manage. But of the 67 coroners in Pennsylvania, 3/5 of us come from funeral backgrounds, just as I do, because that's the one field that melds the best. Because we're taught to deal with families and all kinds of things. So we're not seeing a whole lot of that.
Okay.
And people don't want to get involved in
at some point, we're going to need to see some 20s and 30-somethings want to do this, And
I don't know what's going to, I don't know how it's going to play out as time goes on. But I don't see a lot of growth in the funeral industry.
Yeah.
But they asked me why I got out, and I said, I 5 years of college to be an undertaker, not
You've been listening to The Joel Natale Show, Erie, Pennsylvania's daily podcast from TalkErie.com. Subscribe to our show on your favorite podcatcher and get involved by emailing joel@TalkErie.com.
Well, and again, it's important that we, as a society, understand to respect the deceased and respect the families that are in grief. But we appreciate, again, everything that you do. Thank you. Coroner Lyell Cook here on the Joel Natale Show. Thanks so much.
Well, anytime, Joe. Thank you.